For 48 hours, some of the biggest players are taking to the table to test their endurance and their bankroll in one of the most competitive cash games in the poker calendar. We're bringing you all the action from the Big Game 5 at Dusk Till Dawn Casino.
At one stage, Viffer was up over 25,000, but it's been free fall the last few hours.
Shut up! Did you listen? Are you ever going to listen to anybody?
I've been working position on you my whole life and I've never gotten there, so.
We got a lot of time left, so hopefully things will turn around, and if not, there's always another poker game.
Sam Trickett has also been finding it hard going.
Cork or Holdem has got to be the worst player in the world.
Too many levels on this stupid game. I just hate this cash game so much.
It's been a nightmare. I got stuck pretty early from a bluff and never really got going after that. I've been in some really horrible spots and had to make like tough folds on the river and like annoying folds, and every time I folded I seemed to flop a hand, and every time I called I missed.
Tony G has entered the building and ripped up the game.
The main thing is to bring a lot of cash. When you come to my game, bring a big bag.
I was aiming for the flat. That's a nice little run. Yeah. Won about 50k since you sat down.
Just want to show to the home viewer anyone can do it.
Yeah, it's been fine. I mean, I'm up a little bit and things are going well. It's very early, so.
But with new players entering the game and eviction looming, who will be following Bruno Fatoussi and the Devilfish out the door?
Each of our players comes to the table with a minimum of 5,000 or a max of 20,000 pounds, but they can rebuy or top up at any time during the game. They can also leave the game at any time, and their spot will be filled by a host of big names queuing to take their seat. Let's rejoin Jessie May with the action.
This marathon a quarter of the way over. It'll be 48 hours total. And look at the biggest winner so far, Tony G. 50K ahead already. Jennifer Tilley's been here from the start, winning 27,000 pounds. Luke Schwartz, nearly 20 grand up, and the Devilfish hit and run for 14,000. On the other side of the coin, though, Viffer buried for 33,000 pounds. He was once winner in this game. Sam Trickett just going deeper and deeper. Annette Obrestad losing 8,600. 4 qualifiers have made their donation, and Neil Channing is sputtering like a broken engine.
Our next player in to fill seat number 1 is Roland to Wolfe.
Buddy.
Brother. Hello, Roland. How are you, sir? Very nice.
Professional, if you can't spot the sucker... I didn't see Tony over there.
The Wolf is in the house.
Obviously.
Get ready to howl. And I'll tell you, Roland's
I don't make jokes from 5 years
right
ago.
now, isn't he? He looks happy to be here, Robert.
Also, a key factor, he looks
I'm
fresh.
going after you, Tony.
And this crew doesn't necessarily all look fresh.
You know, a lot of people who follow poker tournament circuit, and the Wolf, of course, one of only 2 players in poker history to win the Triple Crown. But they say, you know, where has Roland been these last couple of years? You don't see him around. I'll tell you where he's been. He's been playing a lot of cash games around the UK, the big cash games in London, and doing very well, from what I understand. So Roland right now is in a spot where this is actually something he really enjoys right now. Big cash game late at night.
Something poor.
Mediocre.
Pass. Cool.
Schwartz and G versus the Wolf. How sweet is this?
That sounds like a rap song or something.
I'll tell you what.
It's you, Roland.
Haven't seen you for a while.
We have action. Top pair 2 ways to flush draw on the 3rd.
Didn't you, Eelis,
You might have some excitement here, at least minimally excitement.
I mean, good spot for the Wolf to call here. Is it a spot to raise?
Yeah, not with an overcaller now. Heads up, possibly.
Ace of spades.
You're playing all the money in your bag behind you.
You sound like me now. You're calling these cards. I think you're getting the sickness, and you're going to like it. I'm sick, and I don't want to be cured.
Cool.
Tony's playing this very passively.
I can improve. 2,000.
And this pot's pretty big. This pot's like
close to 10,000.
pretty big.
Close to 10,000, or maybe a little less. Oh, let's call it 7,200. What do you say?
And Luke's got to make a decision here. If he bets, can he get called by a hand that he beats? Can he push these guys off a hand that he doesn't beat? I mean, is it time to turn his hand into a bluff? Is it time just to give up? What do you think?
Well, I don't think it's time to turn his hand into a bluff because he can still beat some hands.
Check.
And with the action on the previous streets,
Check.
I think that's the wisest choice for him.
I can beat that. Also, I should have bet 5K.
Well, looking back, you know, they always say foresight's 20/20.
Obviously, I don't have anything.
Hindsight.
5K. Yeah, I knew it was a 5K bet.
I can call. I gotta admit,
The old Luke stack.
I'm just in the middle here getting squeezed.
America, we want to gamble. You can help us. We just need to vote off Annette.
Shut up.
Annette, you know I'm only joking with you.
I think you're a good player in
Well, he says he's joking, but I have a feeling he's not quite joking. What do you think, Jess?
Exactly what Annette's saying.
There's no problem.
Yeah, they would, obviously they're smart guys as well, and they just like...
No, I mean, that's like the only reason I would have.
Schwartz with the straddle, Tony with the call, and Trickett, pardon me, with the raise. Oh, with the jacks.
You're playing well aggressive. You're putting your money in pot.
I guess I've watched Peter Pan one too many times. He's got hooks.
In another country, having money at the table, and that's nothing wrong with it. I've been in that position myself. But I've had to play smaller.
350 more.
Yep.
But there is one thing, Dave. Sometimes you play a little too slow.
I know. I do that.
But that's... But other than that, this is nothing to me.
I can think of a lot of players that are a lot slower than I am.
Three ways here, the jacks and the blinds and the straddles, and a nice flop for Schwartz.
No, but just
Interesting flop for sure. Gut shot and a flush draw for
I know, but I'm
Schwartz.
just saying, like, I won't be
Still an overpair for Sam Trickett.
Or when Tom Dwan first started playing, like some of the stuff he would do. Like I had to like go.
Wow, and if Trickett goes for a raise here, you know, Luke's got every reason just to reshove this.
2,000.
But the reason not to is they're both really deep. I think Trickett's about 20 grand back. Luke's got double that, so it's effectively 20 grand.
Yeah, but if I'm Luke, I like my chances better if I'm the aggressor here. I'm probably going to play right back at this.
Don't take it personally.
I mean, maybe the gut shot's pushing me over, the double gut shot, pardon me, 7 or a jack. Probably that's pushing me over the top, saying it's time to gamble. But you're right.
Well, I don't know. I think maybe he's just decided how often is Trickett going to make that raise and fold.
Oh, looky here.
That's amazing.
Wow. It's like the perfect storm. Wasn't that a movie?
Yeah, but then you laughed about
Schwartz
it afterwards. Another
turns to straight, Trickett with trips. And I believe Schwartz checked. Wow.
Yeah, either Trickett's going broke or he's doubling up because...
Yeah, I can't see any other way around this.
I mean, is there any reason for Schwartz not to shove all in here?
I definitely raise. I think I'm probably going to shove because I kind of have to agree with you.
I have been waiting for it.
Well, he's definitely raising. We got that part right. I'm pretty positive we're going to see a shove here from Trickett. And I can't say I blame him. Oh, boy.
Cool.
Big river card about to come.
I know.
And it's a cooler.
Do that so they know.
Oh, my goodness.
Schwartz half stacked. Trickett, full house, double up.
And Sam Trickett is right back in the thick of it.
And
oh, I had to go there. Sorry.
As Trickett will feel like that's the first real card he's caught tonight. And for Luke Schwartz, back to square one. He just lost 20 grand in that pot. That's a big pot.
Yeah, I would have called him broken flush after that. Didn't make his flush, made it straight. Didn't like it.
45,000 pounds on the table and still a loser. And Luke, that hurt.
I'm probably most known for trash talking. Well, last year I lost 60k in it, so I don't know if I'm a favourite, but I should be a favourite in this lineup. I mean, Trickett's the only one out there who can play.
There's too many levels on this stupid game.
Viffer's the biggest donk I've ever seen in life. You've got a few pigeons, basically.
Just want to show to the home viewer anyone can do it.
It's a fun event. It's cool how it's 48 hours and it's like a marathon session, which I'm used to. I do them online all the time. I mean, I've had plenty of sick battles. I've had battles versus Isildur, versus Dur, versus all the people they say is the best in the world, Jungle Man, for hours, you know, $1 million downswings, $1 million upswings just in a single day. So that's entertaining, I guess.
We'll be back with more action from the Party Poker Big Game after the break. From the Dusk Till Dawn Casino, the Party Poker Big Game 5 is playing 48 hours continuously. The clock is ticking, the table is full with characters and loaded with money. Let's head back to the action.
Roland's topped up for $5
Luke, big blind.
They're saying what you're probably all thinking. As great a player as Luke is, he does have a history of tilting.
There's still a lot of clamoring about the one person that hasn't played a hand since, well, Jonah was in a side of a well, I think. I mean, I hate to go back to biblical terms, but it's been a while. Come on, Neil, play a hand.
So you've got your own idea.
Yeah.
Relay, 900.
Old City. Can you get tickets?
Plus.
When is it?
Plus. 9 square.
Could you get me a ticket?
Plus.
See what you can do. Can you get me one of those Peat?
Is that okay? Yeah, I need to make
And Annette, who's been so aggressive with the 3-bets, finally finds a hand to do it with. Oh, she's running salty, isn't she?
She hasn't been the luckiest person alive tonight, I ain't gonna lie to you. And Jennifer Tilly leads into her. That'll elicit a call.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, it could leave a mark. Well, no bets on the turn.
You get a better replacement.
Free cards on the river. Well, actually, that should freeze up the betting. 4 to a straight. It's already been checked.
That's good for me, thanks. No.
Big sigh from Annette. They've always got it. And for Tilly, more good news. Been plenty of action here at the big game. Most of it's gone Tony G's way, up nearly 47K. Jennifer Tilly's been a sterling starlet, winning 33,000 pounds. Schwartz was a big winner. Now he's barely breaking even. The Wolfe losing $4 Trickett has made great strides. 4K down seems like nothing. While Neil Channing's a loser, Annette Obrestad in the hole for 15K, and Viffer bottom of the barrel.
It's time now for our Poker News bonus pot. Here's your £500.
500? Tony?
It's the Poker News bonus pot.
It should be 1,000, right, Tony?
The £500 for free. 500 pounds, pretty good, especially with all the qualifiers.
I just want to have a chance to be in a pot.
You are,
putting in
but that's
8,000
like
pounds each as well.
This is the worst time to strike.
And
So far, none of them have had too much luck.
No, they haven't.
Incentive, really. It is.
If it weren't for bad luck, sometimes I wouldn't have any luck at all.
It's actually an insult.
Yep, 200.
Yeah, when we're struggling.
Yeah, I didn't even try and win it.
Last time, Schwartz put up a staunch defense for the Poker News bonus pot.
In the last 2 hours.
Phil!
And
In honor of Dolly Parton, he shoved.
He's just shoved. He's just shoved for 20,000 pounds. They're all saying he's done it in honor of Phil Locke.
What we agreed with?
He's going to show this for sure.
Yeah, but that's the one. You probably beat me knowing you. 5 high.
Dude, last time I did that, it went
Just cool for the fun of it. You're doing live.
Phil Locke will definitely be proud here.
You're doing live.
It is the exact full. This is. I mean, this is Roland to a T. He's only doing this for the crack.
Promise?
I promise.
100K free roll if you don't.
Yeah.
I have 9 high.
He's willing to risk £20,000 on a joke.
You got to call him where you got to call him for that. He said 9 high, he's not lying. Do you have,
I swear I have
him
9
dominated? Do you have a
I have 9 high.
But not 2 9s, right?
No, 9 high.
9 high.
That's all I have.
You could have 9 5 though.
Cam will verify 9 high.
He's got Tony G completely dominated.
I have 4 5.
This is sick.
You don't have a 5 on you.
I can't tell you that.
Oh my God, that would be sick. That would be unfair. If you don't have a 5 on you, I'm happy to gamble.
Are you happy to call?
I'm happy to call if you don't have a 5 on you.
I can't tell you my other card because it give away.
All right, then I can't call. 9-5 would be insane. Oh my God.
What was it, 9 5?
Wow.
And the secret is revealed.
Good fall, Tony.
Well, the cat's out of the bag now.
For a cold 20.
Tony must have made a sick fall.
If that doesn't sum up Roland to Wolfe in one hand, nothing else does.
Your play, Roland, so far.
I just hope he doesn't think I'm good.
It's like, I feel like it's that last time to me and I folded. It's 10. After 10 minutes. Like had some king.
What about the like the best one? The best one was when Channing, like,
what about when
re-raised like massive, like 2,800? Like, Phil had like 8k, just moved in with 9 high because he thought Channing had 7 dudes.
well in time.
It was the sickest player I've ever seen.
What about
He was sick in his stomach. He was looking at him afterwards like, I can't fall.
You
did have 7 dudes?
And I called as well.
You had 7 dudes?
Yeah, I think because I was getting the price to call anyway.
Oh, we should play 7 dudes. That's such a good game.
Yeah, but it still makes everything too
not
complicated.
for 500?
Yeah,
3 by 8.
makes everything too complicated. If you're gonna,
You could also decide just to fold it too because you don't
yeah,
want.
but they just whoever runs one. It's quite hard to
Everybody's got a
Well, right. So then you pick it
claim
up.
to this
It's
pot.
also very easy to lose a lot of money with 7 dudes.
Right.
He was talking about.
Yeah,
And you
even
only
if you
pick
get
up.
Delta, doesn't mean
And you only pick up 4,000 if you win with it.
You guys,
I just don't like
it's a
the
great
game.
community.
Well, Tilly's led at this, and Obrestad
It's just a little too
can
complicated.
call a raise. I'm curious as to what Luke is going to do if she does raise.
It was a little bit too tough for you to fold. Where's my phone?
It's not her style. Look, she's called.
What are the 2 kings?
Kings. I was.
What 10? The 10 flush draw against you?
I'm just joking.
I had top pair and a flush draw though.
I was just being.
It's a heck of a raise from Schwartz.
But I had top pair too with
It
it.
was the first thing that came to my mind to needle you.
No. Believe me, like I could give you some better needles for me.
Yeah, I know.
You got me like, you know, when I decided to like call and then raise you with the
1,500 for
7 deuce of
Obrestad to
spades
call.
last
She's got
time.
about 14 grand
You
left.
remember? And then
I remember that one. That's why I folded.
I think Tilly's going to pass, but
right, and then there was the time that you had the king 5 and I.
Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised.
Yeah, we've gone had a
She
shit.
did.
So the 7 deuces
just
treated you pretty
Annette
good.
might feel like she's got a few too many chips to go all in,
Yeah, and it makes the game
or she might
fun.
feel like she's got the perfect stance to go
I
all
mean, I
in.
don't mind playing it. I'm just saying.
Not really
Great, so
sure.
then we're in.
Yeah, I'll play.
All right.
Call
then.
1,500 and
Seems
have.
more like a call in position.
Yeah, if she hits here, she could get
All right,
everything.
Roland. Sam wants to play the 7 deuce.
Plus, if he checks to her on the turn, she has a lot of options.
I'll play the 7
When
dudes
that
for
card
sure, but it
comes
has
out.
to be 800.
That gives her additional
5's
outs.
5's a lot. 5's enough. 5's enough. I swear it is.
What will Phil Ivan be feeling now? He won't be feeling great.
Okay, 500 is fine.
Nines are good.
10-9.
That's good. What did you have? The only hand that I can't have that I don't.
You had 5-6.
Yeah.
Everybody agree we can start now?
I was getting
With what? $500 7 deuce.
I don't have an objection. You don't want it?
I find a play 7 dudes.
He doesn't want it. He can be out of it. We can be.
don't want it?
You can still get
No,
paid.
everybody has to play.
I'll be willing to think about someone bluffing me because
You
they
want
got
an
7
anti-do?
deuce, you know.
So you could get
I'll be
that.
able to-
Steam
All right,
took
now
it out of
Luke's
his
starting,
engine.
stopping the 7
A little
deuce.
earlier when
And he's to my left.
Sam Trickett
And
beat him in
he's
that
on
pot.
lockdown.
I'm struggling.
You're straddling that you're blind. America,
I'm not
the
struggling.
world. Luke is keeping us from gambling.
I'm
moving it, you know I'm moving it with like
All right, 7 deuce 5.
Yes, I am. He shamed me into it.
You're lucky that I'm sitting 3
Oh,
seats
wow.
away.
You know what, Tilly?
We've got a 25. We've got a 50. G's got the 100. Roland's got the 200. Trickett's got the 400. 400, and Tilly, the live 800 straddle, the first time tonight.
Everyone's a great
How am I not in this game? They're putting the 800 on it.
That's the main
Ridiculous.
There's a live 800 straddle out there.
Yes? If you beat me in the park, only we have to beat the
Viffer's got the ace.
We'll do 7, it's
He's
5,000.
got the big slick.
And it's 5,000 with me and
Just
Roll.
against
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So like if he bluffs me with 7, doesn't mean he's get it for you.
No, you have to bluff me.
Raise to 8,000.
We'll have the best hand.
And Tony G
Look what he's done here.
looks down and finds 2 queens.
I think you just got to do 7, though.
You raised to 8,000.
I do 7 doesn't count in this hand.
How much is
We
that?
haven't decided.
8,025.
Oh, they should make the deuce to 7 count. Why not?
Viffer's put 8 grand
do you have
in.
left?
Just the money's going in, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Tony G's going to size this up, though.
This is going to be a big pot. This pot's going to be 50 grand.
I'm all in.
Tony G's all
And
in.
Tony G pushes all in.
Pass.
And Viffer is forced to call. I don't see
50
any way
grand
around
flip.
it.
50 grand flip, and they don't run it twice.
You make a good coin. Let's just sit over here and flip for 50,000 pounds.
Cool.
I'd call
It's
him
sick.
I'd call him sick, but then they wouldn't want to be cured like me. Don't get cured. Wow.
Viffer looks pretty sick. Viffer doesn't look like he feels like he's going to win this race.
Well, there is one ace been out. No queens.
50,000 pound pot. Viffer needs the ace. Viffer needs the king.
I said the game's going to be a lot better now, no matter what, anyway.
Queen's no good for him now.
Queens are right now.
Did eliminate some outs for certain. Tony G firmly in control. Oh my gosh! And
we both qualified.
Even though he has a straight, he's gonna lose. This is sick.
He's sick. He is sick.
Wow.
Roland.
Wow, that was a big.
That was a nice safe board. I'll just take it all.
I'll tell you, I don't know if that race was good in the terms of the game. That's hurt Viffer hard, and G is just going to be up a fortune now. He's up like 70 grand. Yeah, 73,000 pounds.
We might have to start calling him Mr. Tony G after this.
Sir G, I believe.
Or Sir G.
Yeah. 6 squeeze there, isn't it? Ace of diamonds.
He's up 73,000.
The next poker news pot is 1,000.
I thought he had do 7.
The next poker news pot is 1,000.
When Tony G told me he needed Gasman to get home on, I didn't think he meant jet fuel. Like, wow.
No, but he's getting 20,000 from Jeff.
How much?
1,000. That's just.
Viffer's going to top up Tony G, looking right now at being the biggest winner in the big game.
I still say I haven't gotten the game yet. That's why.
Viffer stuck 60 grand. Everyone else's number looks small at this stage. Look at Trickett. He's only stuck 6,000 right now.
He's got to be happy as a lark with that result.
Look how much money is on this table. It's like 250, closer to 300,000 pounds on this table.
Last year there was a great cash game. I was very lucky to be invited. I had a great time. I had a lot of highs and lows. I was very lucky to win quite a bit of money. Some of my biggest wins in cash games have been, you know, quite a bit of money. I've won or lost houses or cars, you know, over 500, 600, 700,000 in a day. I believe I bring a lot of fear to the table. I think a lot of players are scared of what I may or may not do because half the time I don't know what I'm gonna do. And that's always scary. Last year I played the full 48 hours. This year, I'm actually spotting them a day. I played poker all night last night, so I haven't quite slept yet. But I think I can make it the whole 48 hours, and I guarantee to play the whole 48 hours if I don't get voted off.
There's an eviction on the horizon. Players on pins and needles to find out who will go. Don't tap the glass because someone's being shown the door.
Welcome back to the Party Poker Big Game. Eviction time is fast approaching. This time it's the turn of the fans to boot off a player. Reputation means nothing. Who will the fans decide to bust out of the game? We'll be finding out shortly.
Win or lose, the players are never safe with the world's only poker eviction.
I don't want to go.
I'm like the worst at this. This is too stressful.
Players can be evicted either by an online audience poll or via a vote-off by the players at the table. Our players will be asked to write down the player they'd most like to see leave the game.
And is it 2 ends or?
And secretly show their nominations to the under-the-table cameras. Only the most active player at the table will be immune from eviction.
Oh, it's so tilt.
Do I go for a vote?
So who's ready to dump off their big stack? Is it Schwartz? Is it G? Is it Trickett?
I might not fold on the flop.
Tilly?
You might fold pre-flop.
No.
Well, I don't know if you've heard the old needle in the haystack story, but I have a feeling somebody is going to give something up. I just don't know which one.
He doesn't give next hand.
200 total.
Was that a cop-out?
No.
That's fine. Rolling towards me, there was.
Yeah. Cool.
I lost the 2-3.
Fold.
So they come back to me.
Fold.
Trickett's raised, Annette has flat call with the ace-queen, and Tony's in as well.
Just like kind of went away because he was getting a bit too much press. CR7.
And this is a big flop. Tony G flopped a pair and a flush draw. Sam Trickett, a nut flush.
600.
Annette Obrestad's kind of continued her current streak by not flopping anything with ace queen.
Raise 2,000 total.
Well, this raise could easily swell this pot up.
Cool.
Oh, geez, just called it.
That's not been his MO of recent time. A club could get things awful. Oh my gosh, right like that.
Oh my gosh. Sam Trickett's got 40,000 pounds back. Tony G's got double that much. Could they get it in?
I don't think they can see it all getting in, but I think there's going to be at least a chunk of it getting in.
G can't think he's up against another flush, can he? This is dangerous.
Seems hard to believe for certain.
He's given it some thought. Is he capable of just calling here?
Only because of his stack size and because of Sam Trickett's stack size.
It's totally still calling when he's this far in front. You've got to be scared.
And a blank, I can't help anything. Not if your name is Tony G. Oh, is this kind of a defensive bet?
Made a claim for the pot.
Kind of a defensive bet.
Kind of a defensive. It's 9,000 into 10. And Trickett now, I mean, he has an opportunity to get a lot of money, and he could make this 25, 30 if he wants. I don't think G's not a folder of flushes, is he? Is G a folder of flushes?
27,000.
27,000 total.
It's gone 27. 9 plus 18.
Well, he did give Tony G a discount. Maybe Tony G can see enough insight to say, I don't think he'd gambled that big, that close to even.
Look at how serious this has gotten. Look at how he has passed it. That's strong. That's strong from the G.
Folded a flush. 3-6.
Sam Trickett should have said how big.
3-6 of clubs.
I would have told him, I said, well, you know one card I had for sure.
Should have just checked that.
Sure was a good fold.
Good bluff if you bluffed that off.
Have some change, please.
And it happened to be a great pass. I mean, you know.
It was a great fold.
How come you said turn?
Did somebody just say they found a $1,000 chip on the ground? I think I lost one earlier out there.
What's 1,000 pounds in this game?
Shane called someone else. He's a pretty good player, Shane. Yeah, and I've just doubled up against him.
Raise 200 total.
I've had it.
Fold.
I've moved in on the end and I had it. Although sometimes I don't have it, but I had it. So that was right in his mind.
Raise 475 total.
Flop.
Ace.
Fold.
Really hard to fold the flush.
And Tilly, they're not playing the 7 deuce game. Does anybody know? Is Does anybody know?
I'd be lying if I told you I did. I'm not for sure anymore. I mean, this game's gone amok.
I'll bet Tilly doesn't know either, but she figures, well, I can win the pot, turn it over, and then just see if I get paid. It's like a, what do you call it, a negative free roll?
Negative free roll.
The deuce 7 game, Robert, you want to explain? It means if someone wins a pot with the deuce 7 exactly, everyone else pays them a penalty.
That's correct.
No, he's like bet like 3,000 on the river, and it's like. And I made it like.
Come on, Jennifer, pull that sexy little check raise you do so well.
You know the check raise in this position is her MO. And oh my gosh, they must be playing with a 7 deuce rule. And they're all talking and laughing. And, oh, they ain't gonna be laughing much longer though.
This has worked for her so often against Channing. It's like she just pulls the string. Pay the lady. Is it money? Is it money?
300. Thought it was 5. It's 3. Definitely not 5.
What do we agree?
Do 7, 300.
Well, they are playing it. 300 pounds a man. Jennifer Tilly cracks the skin for the first 7 deuce win. And
I paid.
You paid?
He doesn't have to pay.
And the boys don't look too happy about that.
No, I believe Annette and Luke are out of this game, the 7 deuce, but the other 6 players are in. And Jennifer Tilly doing the business. That's 1,500 pounds on top of that pot.
Sir, yes, sir. May I have another? Oh, wait, sorry. I'm going back to my childhood.
Channing's just sitting there. She's actually pounded him tonight.
Out of position.
Yeah.
That's like so strong.
How can they let Durr play, Phil Ivey, Viffer, like Tom Dewan, Mosley, everyone but me in the world has played the game? It's like I'm the only guy that's not allowed to play.
Which one?
This Lazé game, I'm the only guy in the world that's not allowed to play.
Viffer says I'm not allowed to play.
What would you do?
I only get to play sometimes.
Sometimes.
I'm
not allowed.
Raise
Yeah, and they've never even played
$500
with me.
times.
Ivy played once, he played like 4 hands and spent the rest of the time playing.
I mean, that wouldn't actually, it's not enough.
Huh?
Where's the action?
Well, 500 times.
No, he could be. Every time he turns up, he gets a seat.
Fold.
Are you in the small blind there?
A few games.
What about me?
The Wolves made this 500 pounds, and we are now
I moved to
3
London to play
ways.
cash games, and then there's just no one.
PLO, we can play heads up.
I hate heads up. It's too long. Just like folding and dealing.
We're playing less 8, we can play it. It'll be your
for
style.
I was speaking to Roland, like we were saying, weren't we, when we went to the Arsenal match, when the Macau guys come over,
Yeah.
you get your guys and we can get all the big game going.
Two
And then
pair
anyone from
for
Lazé
Tilly.
can
Raise 4,000 times.
Very good kicker. Going to Wolfe with 3/8.
No, they're not even interested. I mean, I brought a Russian guy that didn't even care. He lost 100,000 pounds.
Playing heads up,
Yeah.
Tilly's sitting here thinking to herself, like,
not interested.
he wouldn't be doing this with a king, would he? I mean, he kind of feels like a draw or a made hand. Are you agreeing
One or the
there?
other, absolutely.
It's just so unlikely it's
Yeah.
a king. So she's somewhere between not far ahead and way behind.
Kind of decision time. He either has it or doesn't. I don't blame her for calling here. Reevaluate on the turn. She's almost certain.
She's looking. She's looking hard at him, and he's doing the back stretch.
No one wants to really come off this play.
He does seem fairly aloof at this point of the hand for certain.
The Wolf's got about 16,000 back. Tilly's got many more than that. So DeWolf can easily get his money in the pot. Even if he only bets like 3,000 or 4,000 now, he can make a pot-sized bet all in on the river.
Well, there could be a case made for a shove here to try and make it look like he's on a flush draw. I mean, I can kind of see one or the other. I'd bet something middle of the roadish,
Sam,
5,000-6,000,
kidding,
or I'd shove.
Huh? No, I wasn't on about that.
A little more than I would have, but along the same lines.
This hand?
Sam,
No, the hand with you.
leave me out of that stuff. I never win.
Did you have me bait in that hand?
The problem is,
Why I get to play on that?
I didn't say specifically.
it looks like
You
he's
would've bet
pretty
less
committed
if
to this
Everyone
pot.
in the world gets to play with me.
And maybe because he stacked him and put him over there towards Jennifer, she'll take it that way.
Bet less if I checked.
But-
You would have bet 6,000 or 7,000. I would have saved some.
I have a feeling he would have bet
Might have gone all in.
more on
Oh,
a
you
bluff
can
Flashing?
and a
9,000
little
on
less
the pot.
on a real hand.
That's what I said.
So it's maybe confusing to Jennifer.
I wouldn't
If you got the heart to bluff that.
I mean, I would. I have definitely. If you don't know, you never played with me, but if like, you played with me more.
Roland's busy working hard to try and talk Jennifer into the call.
But like, if you played with me more.
But it depends if my read was.
And Jennifer's no fool. I mean, she knows this is not a 6,000-pound bet. It's like 16,000, because I mean, I guess she could say that she can pass if the heart doesn't come on the river. But I feel like she's more likely to do what she did with Tony, which is to go all in or pass.
Well, if she thinks he's on a draw, she's got to push, because then she's got to punish the draw. And she did it.
She's got it wrong again. This is a very similar situation. The one against Tony G. She decided she had to go all in or pass. She's gone for the all in. They've got the hand. She's got 2 outs.
Makes it 4,000 more on the floor.
Am I in with you for a pick?
Those are kings.
King.
No help.
Nice. How much is it?
And Roland DeWolf's going to win a nice pot here.
So this is, no. This is the, I burnt 4 cards.
Oh my God! She thinks, oh my God! We probably won't see so much controversy.
Do it again!
Wait a minute, didn't she burn 5?
I knew you didn't have a king.
Keep burning! Keep turning! Oh, I want you to know something. The table would have gone over if the king had. I mean, we would never have heard the end. I want to tell you.
Chivalry would have been out the window.
There would have been nuclear fission. I mean, my lord.
Same thing. Save 2 or 3,000.
Thanks, Roland. Thanks, Tony. I should have left when I was 75,000 out.
Heading into the eviction, Tony G safe by virtue of the 52% V chip. He's also got all the money. The Wolf taking a big one from Tilly. He's on the up and she's in a slip slide, but still ahead. Trickett's come all the way back, but the loser's been a disaster of a night for Channing. Annette Obrestad can't get it going, and Viffer, close your eyes, 50 grand behind.
The time that our 8 players have been dreading has now arrived. It's eviction time. The 2 most voted for players are Neil Channing. Also in the bottom 2 we have Annette Obrestad. The player voted off the big game table by the fans is... It's Neil Channing.
It's a cruel game. Is this fair? Does Channing deserve this?
Well, they say first your money, then your clothes. Maybe they're telling him to go change his clothes. I mean,
I have the feeling, Robert, that this Neil is going to be back in this game. He's not going anywhere. He's here for the 48, and the seat will open up. He's losing 8,000 pounds. It's unfair.
He's like, how did I just get voted off? I'm stuck. I'm a loser.
That sucks.
I really wanted to play right through as well, so I don't know. I guess I'll probably try and come on the table later, but yeah, hopefully I can have a bit of a better run. Maybe get a different seat.
That was going to be my next question, because obviously you can come back into the game. Are you going to give yourself some time, freshen up, get a new perspective?
No, I think I'm going to go into the commentary box and do that. And then I think if 3 more people quit, then I'll probably be back in 5 or 6 hours. So yeah, 5 or 6 hours of commentating to freshen up and be ready to play.
Our next player through for seat 5 is Alec Torelli.
God, everyone's that excited to see me, huh? Sad. Everyone rolling. Okay. True story.
You don't think this guy's got guts?
Flattered to be so
Alec
humble.
Torelli from America. Well known over here. A lot of results. No, mostly he's a cash game player, but
yeah,
Played some heads-up tournaments over here. Always comes over for these events, and he's action, believe
Still,
me.
it's not like I can rebuy.
Game is on, and Torelli.
Yeah.
I think you did well with that.
That's
I
my
see all these like
kind
massive stacks in
Three
everyone's place.
straddle,
And I have
100
Feels like he's got 2 chips.
How can you do well with that?
Can I make it 400?
Yeah.
I could do well in that.
400 total.
You can bet it against me, women's football.
Okay, I'll bet it with you.
Welcome to the game, Alec.
Yeah.
First raise means nada.
Is that like, you made it 1,000?
No, I made it 400. But I didn't realize this is all I had. I feel like I'm so far.
How much is it? It's like
1100
No, it's
total.
15,000.
That's a lot. You just need to chop it up. I'll give you some change because all it's on.
Alex said, I thought I was coming in pretty heavy here. He's feeling like he's come in. He's put a nice buy-in down on the table. Might be all in on the turn.
Raise 34
Wow.
total.
Wow, Torelli's got the queens the first hand. This is what happened to Andre Pedersen. Didn't go well for Andre, by the way.
When do we start, Tony? Tony bet. When do we start?
Tony bet. That's going to be a new account. VIP status. Unlimited limits.
Obviously, he's between all in and I don't know, call. I mean, this is the first hand in a normal game. In a normal game, you'd say maybe the queens are beat at this stage. But does he know this is not a normal game?
Are we?
Do you just fly over from America, sit down, hair wet, and stick 15,000 pounds in on the 2 ladies? You wouldn't have wanted this seat, Robert. You wouldn't have wanted the 2 queens.
A good service.
Okay, I'll take them. Nah, you wouldn't have wanted them.
You fly all the way here. And I'm like, oh, good stack.
You wouldn't have wanted them.
You want to give me 5,000?
I'd love to.
I don't know if you saw one of the qualifiers did that.
Shooting for rebound.
I believe it.
Torelli's like, what the heck is going on? He sits down, he makes it 400 with queens. By the time it gets back to him, it's like 3,600. Nobody's got a card higher than queens.
Tony, but just register.
I walked by the table this morning. Everyone's looking tired. They've been playing all night. I'm fresh. I just got up, got a workout in. I'm ready to go. I play the cash games quite a bit, and I really like these cash games as more than a tournament. Because in a tournament, you know, regardless of how good you are, regardless of how well you play, I mean, sometimes you're at the mercy of the cards, and a lot of times you're going to end up losing. It's difficult mentally on anyone. And so in a cash game, it's nice to be able to come and go at your leisure and have a little bit more flexibility to maintain more of a normal lifestyle throughout the time of playing cash games, and to come out a winner, you know, once in a while, which is nice. A lot of times playing at a different cash game or just a normal game in Vegas or something like that, you don't have such an influx of A-list personalities where they're also clashing, and so it's going to be really interesting. I'm going to do my best to hold my ground, but they definitely do put on a show for the guys, so it's going to be really fun to go back and forth with that.
Alec Torelli's he's busy there, Robert, wondering to himself what he's been doing for the last 12 hours that could possibly have been more important than trying to get in this game.
Can't say that I blame him.
I've been playing a lot online. Can't you
When
tell?
I'm in Vegas, I play a lot online.
It's impossible to play online in Europe.
It is. It really is.
It's so unfortunate because the scoop is so big.
You don't get ground. I mean, I started playing when we started. Played a lot. You don't get grounded out like.
No, I love playing.
Like a lot every day.
There's a 100 straddle and a 200 straddle out.
Like I wish I could just stick a year up and grind.
Viffer's made it 8
Which won't happen anymore.
with the ace.
That's a nice week.
When is the? Are you going to US?
He's decided to show us a second card. That's very kind of him.
Probably not gonna.
It's not going to be the scoop that you think.
It might be scoop.
There's no US players now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just. Oh, wow. I didn't think about that.
It's closed for US.
Yeah.
They closed it for US. But
I didn't even think
pretty
of it.
responsible, so I think that'll be
Viffer v. Trickett. Been a while since they played a pot. And usually Trickett's the aggressor. He's actually shifting gears a little bit.
But now it's like.
they let Bodog.
Well, this could get interesting. Top pair for Trickett.
Viffer's effectively 22,000 pounds deep.
Even here when I'm losing, I'm having fun.
Yeah, at least you're like losing with someone else, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great card
still want to play,
for Sam
so what are they
Trickett.
going to do? I mean, sites will open up.
I think now we'll definitely see a check raise. Or a lead instead.
It's more not exactly a week lead. It's a nice little bet there. Over half.
You can't compare poker because.
Oh no, I didn't mean it like morally. It's equally like. I'm just saying like in general, it's the same mentality. Like if someone wants to do something, they're gonna find a way to do it. You know.
Viffer still drawn to the spade.
It's shocking they don't just legalize it and tax it. They make so much money.
Ask and it shall be given.
They're going towards that.
Yeah,
they're going.
I guess they have to make it set
And
illegal, and then.
You know, Trickett's going to think. Well, I know the spade got there, but there's still a lot of hands he can beat. You know, all kinds of pocket pairs and things, right? Big ones and small ones.
And get paid off by a lot of those hands. Oh, he does decide to check it, though.
That's the right way.
What can you do, you know?
Nothing you can do now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the only way he could have bet it is if he was willing to fold to a raise. So instead, he decided to see if he could get a bluff or lose less to a made hand.
If there's been one problem part of Trickett's game tonight, Robert, it's these river decisions against Viffer. It's not that he's making them bad. It's just that he always has tough ones, and it's been preying on his mind.
It absolutely has.
He's placing a lot of emphasis on these.
Yeah, another tough one here for sure.
They're not open yet?
Is it tough? I mean, can you ever, you ever going to fold three queens
I was
here?
going to say, it's not really terribly tough because it doesn't look like Viffer called with a flush draw necessarily, but he might be worried about his kicker.
Nando's is the upgrade from KFC.
Call me crazy, but I just have to call here and look him up.
You can't check folding. It's just like, is that sickly psychic? I mean, is that what he's actually thinking of doing?
But Nando's is much healthier than KFC.
Yeah. Health is very important.
Yeah, I did.
People are more health conscious.
Oh man, I thought he said something for. Oh, it was you.
Unless you really blow out, like Wiffer, you don't care.
You're getting what?
Queen Jack. Folded, but he could have had a queen.
Nice. That'll give you a boost in confidence.
This dog can hunt.
Kind of felt like he had it open.
Swings and roundabouts, and Viffer getting on the high horse.
Where are you going?
You're kidding me.
And you know that V chip, 49%, has gone down.
Well, that's way below his norm, but of course he's just now building his confidence back up.
Can anybody play 50% of the pots in an 8-handed cash game and win? It's a
Well, it depends who the other 7 are. I think that's a factor.
We want to have a vote about Roland. We don't want
this
Roland
game's gone loopy with the talk going in free. It'll be Jennifer Tilley on the 100 straddle.
That's so not true. They love Roland online.
They love Roland.
Splash.
So is it a player vote next and then an online vote
There's
next?
like 18 girls online that have already asked to go out with you tonight. It's true. But they're all driving.
That is a concern for frantic fathers.
Yeah. How to meet Roland.
Roland, if you stand up and show how your pants
Queen 9 on the button for Tony G. Viffer's raised this pot to 300. We have action now.
That's too much information.
And the raise and 2 calls may just bring everybody in.
King Queen. Must have riveted like 5 times.
Yeah, but this is our rate.
Every time I think he's got it, I just keep paying it.
Half a hand for
Like,
Tilly.
Never once has I thought he's not got it.
I've not had it.
1,500 quid in the kitty.
Neil just stays there.
I keep looking at it, don't worry. It's like
He's just waiting. He knows he's going to get a stint.
That's top pair, the queen, for both Tilly and Tony. Who would have thought a 9 kicker could be so strong?
1,300. 13. Pass.
By the way, I haven't.
They're talking about Roland being forced to leave this game temporarily. If it is, it's a world record because Roland's been playing poker for like 15 years. He has never ever been asked to leave a cash game ever. In fact, more often than not, he's been paid to stay. There's the first for everything. He's knitting it up anyway. Meanwhile, 3,000-pound bet and cold on the turn. This pot's big, and Tilly, she had some outs for a split. Of course, the 5 would have won, but this now, G with the best hand, and he's checked it back on the river. Tony.
That would have been a good. I was not slow.
Where's your heart? You lost your.
I never do that. That's not fair. You said queen. You didn't open
will
your
take
hand,
that
so
down.
I asked,
And Jennifer Tilly finding this going the other way. Big winners in the big game. It's Tony G like a rocket. 70,000 pounds to the good. The Wolf's having a night to smile about. The Devilfish banked his money and ran. Jennifer Tilly was up so much more, as was Schwartz, while Alec Torelli has got a little gold nugget in his pocket. The losers, though, Viffer throwing the party all night long, 40K down currently. Annette's having a disaster of an evening. Neil Channing can't get started, and there's 4 qualifiers who made a big deposit and slunk away. Sam Trickett was behind so much, he now feels like he's winning.
Join us next time for more action from the Party Poker Big Game 5.
What are you guys doing here?
Is this the guy that we really want at the poker table with us?
I got my first slow roll in.
Yeah. You don't want to keep rolling around. You don't want to chip in.
Around. I've chipped in. I've met all the criteria.
Disqualified.
I've qualified.
What is this qualified?
A pair.
And that's qualified.
I don't want to be like Tony G and bet 10 times the pot.
Oh, if I got bluffed, that's pretty sick.
You the man, you the man, you the man.
Players, if you'd like to write down the name of the player you'd like to be evicted.
And is it 2 ends or?
I don't want to go.
And the player that's now evicted from the table is...